What up guys, this is Saber94. Gonna show you guys my Monarch deck today for Master Duel that I've used a while back. Got a few requests to show it. It's nothing really groundbreaking, it's just a lot of the cards played in threes from the good structure deck when it came out in 2015, giving us some of the best Monarch cards for sure. I've always been a believer in no extra deck Monarchs. I think is the best way to run the deck. Just do what the deck does best, what it's supposed to do, get the max benefits from, eidos, eidea, Monarch Stormfort, Domain, of course, all that stuff. So that's what I think. This is how I think you should run it. Been running it like this since 2015. So eidos, eidea in threes, standard engine. I've experimented and thought about some different engines. I guess you could try, but these just work if your opponent doesn't negate them. They give you a lot of card advantage too, replace themselves, just really good. So run them. For Monarchs, I don't have all of the cards. I guess I always need to remind people. Triple Erebus is just standard. He's the best Monarch. Ethel, I only have one. That's why I'm running one. So it's like back in the day when it was a one. But if you have three, obviously you run three. It's just too good. But if you don't have... Because I don't have three, I just have one. I guess I have space for a few tech cards like Ash Blossom and stuff that maybe I wouldn't have. And then I do the extra Dark Kaya's the Mega Monarch. Normally I do one, but because I have the space, I do two, I guess in this case. This card is also pretty good, giving you that amazing removal and burn. Same for Thestalos, the Fire Mega Monarch. I like to have one of these guys too. For level 8, for Monarchs basically in the deck, I think the correct number is 8. Like around 8 is right. 7 might be too few, 9 might be too much, because we don't really have a direct way like a spell card searcher to grab a Monarch. We got that damn continuous spell card, but I've never fancied that card. I think it's too inconsistent. The one that lets you search a Monarch if you summon a Monarch basically. Just too inconsistent. I don't recommend it. I don't want to use it, but you can if you want, I guess. So 8 I think is the correct number. I also always like to have one level 6 Monarch, and Kaya's, the regular Dark Monarch, is the best one, I'd say. So just in case sometimes you can't decrease your level or just sacrifice 2 monsters, just having that standard level 6 is good. So I got one of those. I got the Earth Vassal as well. I guess this is another tech many players probably wouldn't run. I've always liked this card since 2015. I think it's great. It gives you that disruption, putting an opponent's monster face down, and then he gets that free special summon. He gets the special summon himself, and then when you sacrifice him, you get to grab like eidea or eidos from the graveyard. It can be pretty good sometimes. So, want to have it for that free summon, tribute and disruption. Ash Blossom is in here just for that hand trap. If it works, it works. If you see it at the wrong time, that's how it is. It's not really enough to just balance the game or fix the game. Some people think it's hand traps that win the game. I don't agree, but anyway, I digress. Point is, you gotta have a little bit of disruption. So I guess my protection in this case, my hand traps, is Ash Blossom and the one Infinite Impertinence as well. Maybe that can come up as well. Maybe you can set it, never know. Okay. Now for spell cards, I got some standard stuff once again. Pandeity/Pantheism is the most important. You play it in 3. Draw power and search. Makes the deck good. And then I got one Allure as well. Allure is better than something like Trade In because of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom ruined cards like Trade In, and D-Draw is not even funny because you minus. At least with Allure, you're not going to minus. And I guess, yeah, lets me draw first. I can get rid of things like eidos as well and the regular Kai's. It just depends. I mean, yeah, just one Allure, a little bit of extra draw power. Domain is another important one as well. You run it in 3, of course. And I got the Terraforming to search these cards too. So that's standard. I only got 2 Tenacity, but to be honest, Tenacity... Obviously, it's a searcher card, but the thing is with Tenacity is that if you see a bunch of these and then you don't have a Monarch, it's a completely dead card. It's not like, you know, Pandeity or other cards that are a bit more consistent, I want to say. I mean, I don't really know how to explain it. It's just Tenacity, from my experience, even back in 2015 when I ran it, it's the card that's going to get you in break-in situations a lot of the times. So I only got 2. I mean, if I had 3, maybe I'd squeeze the 3rd one in somehow. But just 2 works. It just works. We get space for some different stuff. I've got the double Stormforth, what I meant to say. We'll leave March for later. So double Stormforth, I only have 2. If you have 3, obviously you try and run 3. But I do have a replacement for it though. Instead of the 3rd Stormforth, you can do the Floundrees spell card. Now this card does have a bunch of limitations. It's not going to be as flexible as Stormforth, but it's going to stick around. And if it sticks around and you get to use it a bunch of times, then it's going to be really broken. The limitation is that you have to sacrifice one of your monsters and one of your opponent's cards. So sometimes it can be a little bit awkward. It makes your domain kind of redundant, but you know, just trying it out. I have it. People wanted to see the deck, so here's the deck. This was in here. It's only at 1. A lot of the times maybe you won't even see it. So yeah, then I do March of the Monarchs. So I like March of the Monarchs, giving me that protection. You know, back in the day, that setup was so perfect because we didn't. Harpies for the Duster wasn't around, and we didn't have a Lightning Storm played in 3s, crazily enough. So if you got that March of the Monarchs, you know, with the domain, you essentially shut down all of the decks that wanted to spam extra deck monsters all day. You know, they couldn't pop your Monarch easily. The best thing they could do if they were going to get rid of your face-up spells and traps and stuff is use Twin Twister, you know, 2 for 2, 2 for 1, depending on what you had. So it was fairer. These days, you know, if you have the March and then they got like the Duster, then it sucks, but I still want to have it. It's a Monarch card at the end of the day, and it's going to give me that protection. So I have it. And then what else? I mean, I guess the other stable cards, Raigeki, Duster Reborn, Swords of Concealing Light. Swords of Concealing Light is like my budget. Dark Lunar Moor, I said this a bunch of times. You can switch it for the second Raigeki if you have it, something else. Dark Lunar Moor if you have the actual card. And then I guess Rhoda, you can do 1 for 1 if you want. The benefit of 1 for 1 is that the thing is with Monarchs, I mean, if you summon eidea, normal summon eidea, and then they negate the summon or, you know, disrupt the summon, then you can't do shit for the rest of the turn in all probability. With 1 for 1, because it's a special summon, if they do stop it, depending on your hand, maybe you can keep going, make a different play. But of course, the problem with 1 for 1 is that you have to discard a monster. It's a -1 and it's got to be a monster too. That's what really just kills it. If you could discard traps and spells too, it would have been much better. But I mean, I have used in the deck since 2015. I used it with 1 for 1 too, but I think now Rhoda is probably just better because, yeah, people just, they're not running things like solemn warnings and shit and stuff. So perhaps, I don't know, it just depends. But I got Rhoda. If you want to do 1 for 1, you can. And then I guess the last card is the first Monarch. 2 of that. Correct number. Ideally, you supposedly you want 1 in the graveyard and then 1 on the field to get the plus every turn, but a lot of the times I'm comfortable discarding both of them in the graveyard. And it's just a very good card once again, helping you tribute, giving you protection. Really good. And this is the deck, guys. I mean, it's pretty standard. It's nothing. I have a few, I guess, techs that maybe people don't run. But it's all about how you use it at the end of the day. Your matchups, if you draw well. A bunch of other factors, I guess. Obviously, this isn't a tier 0 or maybe even tier 1 deck. But as far as anti-meta decks are concerned, this is one of the better ones, I guess. Maybe Gravekeepers would be another option. Some other anti-meta decks, perhaps. But Monarchs is pretty good, simple to use, and you don't need an extra deck either. So I guess it's nice in that regard as well. Maybe easier to build in Master Duel. But yeah, so I don't think I forgot anything. Obviously, if you have more Raigekis, if you got ether, damn, then you can make some changes. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share this video with your friends. Check out my description for all of my social links. I recommend you guys follow me on Twitter to keep up with updates and videos for the channel. I share videos on Twitter always, so if you hang around a lot on Twitter, then you have a better chance to see the updates and videos. I upload directly on Facebook. I got a Facebook page, so you can watch the videos there if you want. Rumble, SaberWolf94. Check my videos over there too if you want. And then, of course, I got the best Yu-Gi-Oh book for the 2002-2003 format. Original Yu-Gi-Oh era, ultimate unofficial guide, most comprehensive book, hands down, guaranteed. Check it out. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it over there. Physical copies, digital copies. Read the first couple of pages free on Amazon, get a little bit of taste. Feel free to look into it. But other than that, this is the video. Hope you enjoyed it. SaberWolf94, was I?